Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for the class. So, thank you so much for joining in the Bhakti Shastri class. We are on chapter number 12, and we had completed shlokas till 5, I guess, and we had to start with shloka number 6. Let me just share the screen with you. 6 and 7 are clubbed. We'll quickly do the Mangla Charan and we'll start. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सार्वधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, very important from here, actually, he starts uh, giving what is unalloyed devotional service and how this bhakti path is a very easy path for those who are personalist. For those who are impersonalist, that particular path will be a bit difficult, but because why difficult? Because there is no reciprocation yeah, with the Supreme Lord, or there is no reciprocation with anybody, and that is why when there is no reciprocation, then there will be no, uh, protection also, there will be no deliverance also from Krishna. So that is why this particular path is easy for uh, the personalist. So he says that ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पर अनन्यैव न योगेन माध्यायन्त उपासते तेषाहं समूर्धार्ता मृत्यु संसार सागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशित चेतसाम्. So he says that, translation, but those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So over here he's saying, I see there are two shlokas. Okay, so we'll just take one shloka at a time maybe. And he's saying that Mai Sarvani Karmani, all Sarva Karmani means all these activities that are there, and offering all these activities to the Supreme Lord, to me, he's saying, Matta Paraha, Matta Para means being, of course, over here Prabhupada is translating that being attached to me, but being attached to me and making me the ultimate goal. And he's saying that ananyeva yogena, without any destruction of the or without any distraction, because distractions are there in the mind. So without any destruction and distraction of the mind, this person is steadily fixed on me. The devotee is steadily fixed on me. So that is why saying that ananyena yogena. So without any division, without any division between friends and relatives and business and all these things. And then he's saying tesham aham samudharta. So samudharta means that for those people who are ananya yogena, then what happens? I become that swift deliverer, right? And then he's saying that over here he's saying that bhavami, I become that swift deliverer. And na chirat partha, means not after a long time. Immediately I become, a swift deliverer. And then he says, Mai aveshita chetasam. Like those who are fixed, those whose minds are fixed on me, then I become their swift deliverer. And that is why this 2.5, 2.7, this particular shloka, it is ending with this Mai aveshita chetasam, because those whose minds are fixed on Krishna, then all the above, that is, those who give up their activities and they are without deviation, they're engaged only in me, and they're always meditating upon me. For them, I become that swift deliverer. I deliver them quickly. Na chirat partha. And why do I deliver them quickly? Because their minds are fixed upon me. So, when he's saying that, ye tu sarvani karmani, means uh, I'm offering all my work to Krishna. Those who are offering their works to Krishna, and those who renounce their work for me, and those who make me the ultimate goal of life, and those who meditate on me, those who worship me, for them what happens is I become a swift deliverer. So see, Krishna over here is telling that what is the difference between uh, meditating on him and meditating on the impersonal Brahman. So, because see, as I told also that in impersonal Brahman, you cannot have any reciprocation. And this is what it is actually trying to tell us. He's trying to tell us that in impersonal Brahman, there is no, reciprocation. So, like say, for example, if a person is, climbing through a rope, and the rope is tied to an impersonal thing. हवा में rope लटक रही है ना? So he has to put all the effort in coming out of or pulling himself up. But if that particular rope at the next end is being holded by somebody, so then what happens is that uh, uh, that person also helps, and the other person, so like the person who's holding the rope on the other end, he's also helping, and from here his efforts are also there. And that is why both, with the efforts of both, the one who's holding the rope from the other end and one who's climbing also, so it will help both of them to pull very easily. And for example, we might be trying from our own side, and if you're not able to try from our side, we are weak, right? But if we have that desire to come out, then that other person that is there will still help us. So Krishna will still help us by pulling us. That is the difference between impersonal and personal aspect. Because that is why, Krishna says that aham samuddharta. So I become that swift deliverer. And that is why he's highlighting that this process, the bhakti yoga process, is an easier process. Why? Because in this, Krishna himself is intervening personally, and he favors his devotees, and that is why he the devotee can be delivered by the Supreme Lord. So Sridhar Swami Maharaj, he gives an explanation that Krishna personally gives uh, spiritual knowledge which is required by the devotees. By that particular knowledge, that devotee will become disentangled. And that is actually Krishna's mercy when he says that aham samodharta. And like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says that Krishna is not only giving knowledge, but he's also intervening in the life of that particular devotee. When Krishna says Yogakshemam Vahamyam, right? He says that I personally carry what he lacks. And that is why in Prabhupada's purport also, if you see over here, he's saying that just because Krishna is intervening, the devotees are so very fortunate enough that they will be delivered soon from this particular material existence by the Supreme Lord. And that is, he's saying that Bhavami na chirat partha. It's not like that, okay, let them wait and I'll make them wait and all. No. Instantly, Krishna intervenes in with the devotees. Like in case of Draupadi, instantly he came in the form of Sari. Of a Gajendra, immediately he came. Of a Prahlad Maharaj, immediately he came. Or for Dhruv Maharaj, instantly he came, to deliver. So, in Prabhupada's purport, if you see, he's saying that it does not matter that what kind of work a particular person is engaging in, but that work has to be done for Krishna. And that is why then it will be Mai Sannyasa Mat Paraha. He's offering all those fruits of his work to the Supreme Lord. So, because see, Arjuna might have a doubt that, why is he fighting that particular war or about that particular war. So, uh, even in our lives also, we might have to do some different works, but to do whatever work we may have to do in devotional service. So just we have to, whatever work we are doing, whether we are cooking, we are earning money, we are doing business, we having our jobs, we are caretakers, and we are preaching, and we have relatives around us, we have friends around us. So whatever we may be, whatever work we may be doing, but we have to do it in devotional service. And uh, we have to do it very faithfully. We have to fix our mind on Krishna, and then only we'll be elevated. Now somebody might ask that how is it possible that whatever work we may do it in devotional service? Or how can faith be involved when I am interacting with my non-devotee friends or non-devotee relatives? So we can always think that these people, those who are my relatives or those who are my friends, these are a part and parcel of Krishna, and I have been entrusted, since Krishna has favored me and he has given me this beautiful path. Let me also try to behave in a very nice way with them and try to make them Krishna conscious. See, sometimes the relatives will not become Krishna conscious. They might not, agree to the path that we have taken upon. But at least what we can do is we can be respectful to them. We can be friendly to them. We should not take their association. We can give association whenever we go. We can go and take prasadam. We can invite them at our some nice festivals and all. And we should also participate in those festivals that they are doing. So that's how, as a service to Krishna, we will act whatever is my prescribed duty. I will not say, hey, they are not devotees, why should I go? No, their birthday parties are there, marriages are there, the anniversaries are there, there is some other function in the house, the birth of a child. Everything we can, if consciously we can try to connect it with Krishna. We can do it for Krishna because sometimes they say, charity begins from home. So preaching begins from home only. So they might lifelong not become devotees, but at least they will not uh, blaspheme us. They will not may do any Vaishnava aparadh against us, or they will not criticize us. At least they will not be doing that. They'll be favorable. Whatever they're doing, they're nice, but I don't agree to that idea. So that is why he's saying that whatever we do, we should do it faithfully, and we should try to connect it to Krishna, and we should do it. Suppose I'm going to a marriage party, or I'm going to an anniversary party, I'm going to a birthday party. Let me see what best I can do so that I can connect that particular person to Krishna. Sometimes, we keep on giving those, photo frames as such, or we can keep on giving those other things, but we might spend something more and give them something additional, which is useful for them in Krishna consciousness only. See, everybody does puja at their home. We can give them incense, we can give them, a silver, lamp, small silver lamp, we can give them, or we can give them, if they have some, nice puja house, we can give them some nice cloths that they can spread around, and they can, keep, whatever their demigods also are there. Small small things will add up, and that's how we are connecting. Every time in our lives we'll be connecting, or we'll be having Krishna in the center, and we'll do everything as an offering to Krishna. And that is I saying that ye tu sarvani karmani, and that is how all these activities, they will be actually done for Krishna. And see, that doesn't mean that there is there is this, if there is a positive side, there's a negative connotation also. That doesn't mean that we have the license to do even sinful activities. Sarvani Karmani means what? Whatever is there within the Varnashrama duties. So if I'm a Kshatriya, if I'm a Brahmachari, if I'm a Grihastha, so whatever we have to do, whatever activity we have to do it for our Swadharma, and we have to do it for Lord's sake. See, in the second chapter also Krishna says there are two types of dharmas, Swadharmas. Okay, one dharma is for the material body, and second dharma is for the spiritual soul. So we have uh, material duties also, and we have spiritual duties also, and both these duties we have to do it for Krishna. So that is why in the purport also Prabhupada is saying that the Lord himself takes. The Lord is not waiting, or the Lord is not waiting. Okay, let him become experienced and let him become take more experience. No, no. Immediately, he's transferred, because uh, uh, devotees don't have to wait, uh, because the Lord is taking personal care of him, and that is why he's saying that uh, bhavami na chirat partham. I become, the swift deliverer, and not after a long time, but immediately. So, in even the Varha Purana also, if you see that there is a sloka which comes, which says that. Um, I had read this sloka yesterday, but I don't remember it. Nayami paramam sthitam achir adi gatim vina garuda shankhadam aropya yathecham anivartitah. He says that when he says Nayami, Nayami means I take care. Okay. And Param Sthitam means I take them to that particular supreme destination. Nayami Param Sthitam or Param Sthanam. Okay. And then he's saying that Archir Adi Gatam Vinaha. Archir Adi Gatam means Archit means, that particular path or the different path by which this particular soul is, transformed to, Devalok or Pitrulok. Okay. So Krishna is saying that Archir Adir Gatam Vina, they are not required for this devotee. The Lord will personally take care of this without all these people. And how the Lord will take care for Gajendra? How did he come? Garudam Shankadam Aropya. Situated on the shoulder of Garuda, the Supreme Lord will come. And Yathecham Anivartita. He's saying that what is the desire of the Lord? The desire of the Lord is that He wants to take all of us back to Godhead or to the spiritual world. So, without any distraction, Anivaritaha, He will not give you any distractions, and immediately, without any distraction, that you will go back to the spiritual world. So, see, uh, you can say, sweetness of this particular promise that Krishna is making, and he's assuring us that no, immediately this devotee will come to me. And uh, even in the Narayan Purana also, because see, in the Mahabharata also, a lot of wisdom is given, which are at various levels, if you see. But not everything is at a transcendental level. So when the Vishnu Sahasranam, is being spoken, because see, Vishnu Sahasranam, is very purely devotional. So where he's saying that all these, even if this transcendental is progressing, through these, efforts, or you can say Purushartha. So normally by each of that particular sadhana, he's getting dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. But that human being who has taken to the shelter of the Supreme Lord Narayan, he will attain that supreme destination. And that is why, if you see in Prabhupada's purport also, that he's saying that a particular devotee can achieve that supreme destination very swiftly, very easily, and very happily also. And uh, uh, and in any other path other than Bhakti Yoga, nothing of this has been spoken. That okay, Krishna becomes the swift deliverer, and that person can approach the supreme destination very easily also, very happily also, and Krishna intervenes and Krishna becomes, nothing of this is spoken in any other path as such. So that is why Prabhupada is saying that everybody should take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and this is the highest perfection of anybody's devotional life as such. Okay, let's go to the next shloka. So now from this particular shloka onwards, there is a progressive level of bhakti. So Krishna will give the highest first, and then, first what he does is he gives the highest. And then he gives concessions. If you cannot do this, do this. 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 So the first two shlokas that are there, the eighth shlok and the ninth shlok, Krishna will tell Arjuna that you do bhakti with your internal senses. And if you cannot do bhakti with your internal senses, then in the 10th shloka he says, you can do bhakti with external senses. And then if you cannot do bhakti with your external senses, then what do? You give up the results of that work. And if you cannot do that also, then you do abhyas. So, very nicely, Krishna gives options to the devotees, but that does not mean that we keep on taking those concessions. We have to see to it that how we'll be able to give the highest pleasure to the Supreme Lord. So, in this eighth shloka, he's saying that Mayeva mana adhasta Mayi buddhi niveshaya nivashishyasi Mayeva atha urdhavana sanshaya. So he's saying that just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. A very nice, this is that. What is he saying? Let's see. Because see, that till now, in these all seven shlokas, Krishna is saying that when somebody worships this personal form, it is superior to that impersonal form worship. And then he's speaking about these, progressive levels as such. So then he's saying that Maya Evaha, mere liye akele, for me alone. Mana Adhastva. Mana Adhasa means you fix your mind on me. Okay. And Mai Buddhim Niveshaha. You invest or you apply that intelligence for whom you apply that intelligence, for me, or you fix your intelligence on me as such. And then he's saying that Nivashishyasi Mai Evaha. So he's saying that in this way, what will happen? You will live in me. And see, when you say a nivas, okay, nivas means, to live, right? And, or to reside, okay. And, atha udvam na samshaya. So, atha udvam, after that, if you're going to, reside in me, then there is no samshaya. There is no doubt that you'll always be fixed on me by that particular practice. So Krishna over here is giving the highest level, that you fix your mind on me, you fix your intelligence on me, and then you will live in me itself. So, see, generally we are living where our subtle bodies live, we don't live where our physical bodies are living. Like, somebody who is addicted, his mind is always on that bottle or glass or cigarette or that particular drug that he wants. Okay. So his mind is always fixed over there. Okay. How will I go today in the evening and, go to the bar and go and drink and smoke and all that. So if our subtle body is with Krishna, we are also with Krishna. Subtle body means what? Mind, intelligence, and our soul. And our consciousness, if it is with Krishna, then we are with Krishna. So that is why, if you see in the, in the Gita, where Prabhupada is saying that this is the art of Krishna consciousness, that we should always fix our mind on Krishna. And wherever, in whichever situation we are in, whether we are traveling, whether we are, at home, whether we are at business, whether we are at job, always fixing the mind on Krishna. So when we say mind and intelligence, so what happens that the mind listens to the intelligence. Okay. But if the mind is not listening to the intelligence, then the mind is listening to whom? The mind is listening to the senses. Whatever the senses is, the mind gets drawn over there. So why is the mind, placed under the intelligence? Because the mind is subordinate to the intelligence. And if the intelligence is sharpened, then what happens is the intelligence will control the mind. The mind becomes the friend of that particular person. And that is why हम किसकी सुनते हैं? हम गुरु की सुनते हैं. We listen to we listen to our spiritual masters. Why? Because only the spiritual master, if like, can see from the top that what are my defects and where are my shortcomings and what challenges am I facing. So from top view, he's able to see that this person, how is he suffering, and he's able to tell me that this is where you are lagging behind. And uh, the spiritual master is, like, for example, I always say that if I have a black mark on my nose, I won't be able to see it. But somebody who's standing opposite to me, he's able to tell that, okay, you have a black dot on your nose or a black mark on your nose. Similarly, the spiritual master will be able to know what are my anarthas. What are those anarthas that I'm having? And then he'll be able to tell me, and I'll be able to correct myself with those anarthas. And that is why, in the morning we sing that eva bhatoriya jai. So when we say we are singing that eva bhavaturiya, what is that Guru Vandana thing? Hmm. Uh, I'm just forgetting that line.
जहारे कृपा रे भाई ये भाव तोरी आ जाए.
Jahara Kripa River. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So that Kripa is actually coming from the spiritual master. And then he's saying that, अरे भाई तुम सुनो, भाई तुम किसकी सुनो? You hear from the spiritual master. You don't hear from anybody else. You hear from your spiritual master, because hearing from the spiritual master is so potent that as soon as those words of the spiritual master, they fall on my ears, so whatever misconceptions that I have, whatever anarthas that I have, whatever misgivings do I have, they all will be eradicated immediately, and they will purify me. Immediately we come to, because see, currently, uh, you know many people that are there, they're living on that bodily, of course, even myself also I'm talking about, that we are living on that bodily conception only, I, me, and mine. But as soon as we, hear the spiritual master, what will happen is that immediately we will come on the soul level consciousness. Immediately we'll know, oh, I'm not this body, I'm the soul, and my soul is supposed to serve the Supreme Lord, and I have to engage everything in the, service of the Supreme Lord. So now, if you see, what is happening is that uh, in the first six chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, it is a very slow development, and slowly, now everything is culminating, because in the first six chapters, Krishna is saying, whatever karmas are there, you offer it to me. And yad karosi, yad yohosi, he's saying that whatever you do, you offer it do it as an offering to me, and Yagnath, you do that yagya for me also. And from the 7th chapter to the 12th chapter, Krishna is talking about supremacy of this bhakti. Because why supremacy of the bhakti? Because this is only the highest reality. And after that, Krishna is giving us, the descending ladder. So once it is concluded that bhakti is the best way, it is better than demigod worship, Ashtanga Yoga, Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga. And that, in the 11th chapter, we saw the Vishwarupa Upasana also and Brahma Upasana also. Then someone may think, oh, bhakti is the best. But am I qualified to practice that bhakti? Bhakti seems to be so exalted, when he's saying that Satata Yukta Anantamam, So constantly being engaged in the service, constantly thinking of Krishna, and I feel that I am not at that level. Then what should I do? So that is why Krishna is going to offer multiple levels, and Krishna is saying that, okay, I'll offer some multiple levels of bhakti, and slowly, slowly, one can move from karma yoga to jnana yoga to bhakti yoga. So if someone doubts that, okay, I'm not qualified to do bhakti, so better I do something else, then, I come to bhakti. Then Krishna says that actually bhakti can be practiced at multiple levels also. We can perform bhakti at the level we feel comfortable, and from there we can rise upward to a higher level. See, what happens is that within the path of karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyan yoga, ashtanga yoga, all these paths, if they don't include bhakti into their paths, they will not get that desired result from that particular path. The perfection for that path, for the perfection of that path, for the perfection of that maybe Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga has to be included. Then only Ashtanga Yogi will get that perfection. Till the time the Ashtanga Yogi does not include the Bhakti practice into his Ashtanga Yoga, he won't be getting the perfection in Ashtanga Yoga. That is why, and in case the Ashtanga Yogi feels that he wants to change the path, then he has another path of Bhakti Yoga. If he feels that, but in all circumstances, even a Jnana Yogi has to include the Bhakti path into his practice. Otherwise, he does not get perfection in that particular path. So that is why now Krishna is going to offer a ladder of, you can say devotion ladder of love. And that is why from this 8th shloka to the 12th shloka, he's going to talk about, so, uh, you know, this 12th shloka is a very complicated verse. Complicated in the sense that where do I locate myself in this ladder? So, if you see that in this particular ladder also, what is the highest level that I offer my mind and intelligence to Krishna, and I offer my mind and intelligence to Krishna entirely, 100%. And that is why I will live in him. This is what he's saying, that you will live in me, right? So, and then he's saying that, secondly, he's saying that practice sadhana bhakti to fix the mind on me, right? And that is why, because in the 9th shloka, he will say that, see, if you cannot fix the mind totally on me, or if you cannot fix your intelligence totally on me, then what do you do? With your external senses, what you do? You try to fix your mind on me, and you fix your mind on me through abhyas, through sadhana bhakti. And then in the 10th shloka, I'll say that, okay, if you cannot do this with your internal senses, with your mind and intelligence fixed on me, then what you do? You actually work for me. And that is why in that also, in the 10th shloka also, there'll be two sub levels also. So what is the difference between, sometimes somebody might ask that, okay, uh, Krishna is saying fix your mind on me and fix your intelligence on me. So then what is the difference, that, okay, try to fix the mind. See, what is Krishna saying? Give me a minute. In this 8th shloka, he's saying that mind is directly attached to Krishna. He cannot think about anybody other than Krishna. And that is how one is able to fix his mind on Krishna. But if the mind does not have that natural attachment to Krishna, what he's talking in the 9th loka, okay, then he's saying that you practice to fix your mind on Krishna. So, because see, when we are trying, so for us, what we are trying to do is that we are doing sadhana bhakti. My mind is not really fixed on Krishna. When I'm chanting, I'm distracted with so many, thousands of things. Okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. So, but still, we are consciously trying or practicing to fix our mind on Krishna and bringing it back again and again at the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is how mm, the uh, 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 from below also I'm working for Krishna, and from top also I'm working for Krishna. And that is why he says that the best level is that you fix your mind on me. And uh, and what is that level? That level is pure devotional service to Krishna. So when Prabhupada was in America, he was actually not in America. Where was he? He was in Vrindavan. Because when he left Vrindavan, he said he did not leave Vrindavan. And Prabhupada carried Vrindavan with him. So we can take up, many times I've heard this, that we can take a pure devotee out of Vrindavan. But we cannot take Vrindavan out of a pure devotee. And that is why Prabhupada carried Vrindavan along with him to the United States of America. And that's how he completely fixed his mind on Krishna and his intelligence also on Krishna, the highest level. Okay, let's see the 9th shloka, because we have seen a lot about, abhyas and all that. But what does Krishna and Prabhupada have to say? Let's see. अथ चित्त समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यास योगेन ततो मामिच्छा sorry मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जयम्. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation. Then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So Krishna is saying that atha. Atha means, if. So he's giving a second option. And he's saying that chittam samadhatum. If you na shaknoshi. So if you cannot fix your mind on me, if it is not possible for you to be satisfied of thinking about me, and if you cannot think of me constantly, then he's saying that mai sthiram. Sthir means steady, and then he's saying that abhyas yogena tato. So he's saying that abhyas yogena means practice yoga. Like, see, when we are chanting, we try to fix the mind on Krishna, right? Because the mind goes here and there. But if we bring it back, because the mind will keep on going away, may stray away. So if we bring that mind again and again and make him fixed in one place, uh, for example, there is a small child, is very, hyperactive child and keeps on going here and there. So what happens? The mother keeps on bringing back again and again, but very, gently she brings him, but very firmly she brings him. No, you have to sit over here only. You cannot go over there. You cannot go over there. That way. So abhyas yogena tato. What will happen by this particular, abhyas or practice? Because see, um, mm, Krishna says that if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then endeavor to fix your mind on me through abhyas yoga and by following the regulative principles of sadhana bhakti, that is withdraw the mind repeatedly from sense objects and fix it on me. So this kind of bhakti is abhyas rupa bhakti. So you practice every day. And then he's saying that mam ichha aptum. So mam ichha aptum dhanam jaya. So Dhananjaya means what? You obtain the desire to attain them. Even if you're not able to fix your mind on me in the eighth shloka, at least you have the desire to obtain me. So we on our level, we have this desire to obtain Krishna. We want to please Krishna. We want to do everything for Krishna. Through sadhana, bhakti, we try to. So that is why, because see, why he is using this word. Sometimes he use the word Gudakesha and then, oh, son of Pritha. He uses these different words. Over here he's using Dhananjaya because Arjuna had conquered the whole wealth. But that wealth, the wealth of that supreme wealth he hasn't conquered as yet. That supreme wealth is what? That attraction for Krishna is only my supreme wealth. मेरा जो धन है वो क्या है? कृष्णा के प्रति आकर्षित होना, वही मेरा परम धन है, right? But none of that wealth of this world will help us at the time of death, right? I cannot even take a small, bobby pin also with me, right? So, but if I have that wealth of that attraction to Krishna, that remembrance of Krishna, then that can take me back home, back to Godhead or to the spiritual world where I will be eternally happy. So, you know, in the eighth chapter also we saw that andakalecha mam evam smaranam muktva kalevaram. If at the end of my life or at the time of death, if I remember, then in whatever consciousness I leave my body, in that place I will be going. So the supreme wealth is the desire to attain Krishna for us. We might have many desires. We don't have desire to attain Krishna. So let's start desiring to attain Krishna, His mercy, His favor, and once we get that desire, then that is the supreme perfection of our life. And see, when we dress up like a devotee and we, perform bhakti, but how strong is the desire to attain that Krishna? That has to be, that is our, barometer for us. Not if it is not very strong, but if we keep fixing our mind on Krishna, gradually, even at the subconscious level, we start seeing and fixing our mind on Krishna. And that is also so joyful, and doing other things might become very agitating. And so, when other things become very agitating or even entangling for us, then what we do, we try to fix our mind on Krishna more and more, and then we move to the next level. See, you all have experienced this in your life. The moment those 2 hours of seva, those 1 hour of any seva in the temple, if you have fixed your mind, be it cleaning, be it, mopping the floor also, be it washing the utensils also, but your mind is, oh, I'm washing Krishna's utensils. Oh, I'm mopping Krishna's, personal bedroom. Oh, I am, arranging the clothes back into his cupboard, or arranging Krishna's paraphernalia back into the cupboard. So we are all the time fixing that. So this is only Krishna consciousness. That all the time you think about Krishna's welfare. What is good for Krishna? What is good for him? How can I make him more happy? How can I make him more beautiful? How can I bring happiness to him by bringing the, lost souls back to him? All these planning, see, like we plan for ourselves, no? So instead of planning for ourselves, what we do now, we start planning for Krishna. So you might think, oh, Mataji, you are saying planning for Krishna. How is it possible? So much of, loans I have and EMIs I have and so many of the things I have. You don't need to worry about that. Krishna is saying, no, I am the swift deliverer. You just fix your mind on Krishna, and Krishna will take care of everything that is actually required for us. And we don't need to worry about anything, because now who is taking care of us? Krishna is, has taken the responsibility. He's going to take care of us. And that is why when we keep on fixing our mind on Krishna, uh, we will definitely see, we keep on practicing. And see, that is the Prabhupada says that whatever sadhana bhakti has to be practiced under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. He can only, tell us what are the practices of bhakti yoga, like chanting and offering bhoga to the Lord, or the flowers to the Lord, or taking prasadam and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, residing in a place of spiritual importance. And all these three types of bhakti, the abhyas yoga bhakti, the sadhana bhakti, these all, there are three types, bhakti. Like, one is smaranatmika bhakti. Smaran yani kya? You fix your mind on Krishna and you're all the time thinking about Krishna. Then mananatmika bhakti. You're fixing your mind and you're doing manan. Okay, now tomorrow what bhoga will I prepare? What does Krishna like? Okay, what dress will I make him wear? Right? So, and then you're practicing also. You're practicing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You're practicing to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So these all three types of bhakti, Smaranatmika, Mananatmika, and Abhyas Rupa Bhakti, they are performed with mind and intelligence. Because uh, intelligence and those who are not offensive people, those who are inoffensive people, they only can perform this type of bhakti very easily. And those who are less intelligent people, they find this type of bhakti very difficult. They find very difficult to wake up early in the morning at 4 o'clock. They find it very difficult to read the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. They find it very difficult to every day sit at 8 o'clock in the Bhagavatam class and hear. The mind is going here and there. They're not able to fix the mind on Krishna. So that is why, because the mind is very fickle and it's like a wind, running here and there, that person might not be able to restrain that mind. But those who can not gradually fix their mind by practice, then Krishna is saying that you, you work for me. Then, in the 10th shloka, he's saying that. Let's see the 10th shloka. Hmm. अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वान् सिद्धम वाप्यसि. He says that if you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. So then he's saying that, see, this chapter no talks about how this bhakti yoga is the best process. Okay. And how this bhakti can be practiced at multiple levels also. And how can somebody even cultivate these qualities of of this devotee also. So devotional life means you cultivate the qualities of a devotee. So that is why saying that abhyase api asamarthasi. Asamartha means incapable or not able to do it, like, So, uh, in the previous years, Abhyas has been spoken, right? Abhyas yoga. So, then by the practice of that yoga, you obtain the desire to attain me. Krishna is saying that. So, Abhyasa api asamartho asi, that if you're not capable, if you're not able or incapable of doing so, abhyas, then mat karma paramo bhavah. Then make my karma the supreme goal and become dedicated to working for me. Right? So see, paramo, paramaha can mean actually supreme also. But parama can also mean that paraha, you fix your mind on me. Now, in Sanskrit, no, there are many, one word might have many meanings, right? So fix your mind on me. And to make somebody your ultimate aspiration. I'm aspiring for Krishna. I'm aspiring, when we say I'm aspiring for initiation and I'm aspiring from His Holiness so and so Maharaj, right? To aspire means only to aspire to serve that particular person. It's not like, fashion that I say that, oh, I'm aspiring. Aspiring means what? Okay, he'll come and give you a name and he'll give you some rules and regulations. But then after that, he will take all your sins also. He will zeroize also those karmas. But then after that, what is my duty? What is my duty towards him then? Then I will aspire for what he's aspiring. And what is my spiritual aspiring for? My spiritual master is aspiring to serve his beloved Lord. So I will also serve my spiritual master's beloved Lord as a gratitude to my spiritual master, right? So that is why, because see, spiritual masters now, why we follow them? Because they are the ones whose only aim of life is to fix their mind on Krishna and work for them with mind and intelligence. I don't have that capacity. I don't have that qualification. Or I have got so many other diverted things. But if I try to serve those whose minds are fixed, whose intelligence is fixed on the Supreme Lord, one day even I will be able to fix my mind and intelligence on Krishna. Even I will be able to make Krishna my goal of life. I'll be able to say that the goal of my life is to only please Krishna, and not only in words, it will be in actions also. And that is why we follow our spiritual masters, because their aim is only to. So, see, when he's saying, no, that mat karma paramam, So, what is the meaning of mat para and mat karma paramo? He's saying that, see, mat para means what? That my heart, my mind, and my intelligence, my whole thing, I'm offering it to Krishna. Heart, mind, and intelligence. Okay, now you might think that our heart, our mind, our intelligence, what is this heart then? The heart is actually the super soul, sorry, the soul or the consciousness. Everything I'm offering it to Krishna. And this is the higher level. Then even mat karma paramo, right? When I'm saying mat paraha, and I'm dedicating everything to. So when we say mat karma paramo means what? We are doing many, many different types of works, but we understand that the work we are doing for Krishna is the most important uh, work for, and we work for Krishna. So when I try to work for Krishna and I make all my work as an offering to Krishna. I work for Krishna, right? And then what I do is offer that everything to Krishna. Like for example, somebody is working, okay, from 1 month he works, from date 1 to date 30 he works. And then when he works, what he does is his full salary check that he has got, he gives it to Krishna. Or like I remember my spiritual master, what he used to do, he used to work in Coca-Cola company as a marketing manager. So what he used to do, whatever paycheck he used to get, he used to come and give it to Srila Prabhupada. And from that, whatever is necessary for his expenses, he used to take it from Srila Prabhupada. And very miserly, he used to use that money for himself. Otherwise, everything is giving it to Krishna. Like how a son, when he starts earning, what he does is whatever the father has done for him throughout his life, he starts coming and giving his paycheck to father. Father, you run the house. I will earn, I'll give my check to you. You run the house and you see what expenses have to be done, where savings have to be done, where it has to be utilized. And Prabhupada was very happy with this. Prabhupada was so happy because there are a couple of more devotees who used to do this. It's not only my spiritual master, but many other Srila Prabhupada disciples also used to do this. Imagine what is Srila Prabhupada, when I hear this, it is so impossible that when even I started earning, or even right now I'm earning, I'm not able to give a single penny to my parents. Of course, my parents are very financially very sound, but I'm not able to say that, Papa, this is, this is what I'm earning in the month. And okay, this is, I'm giving it to you. Now you run the house, or to my mother. It's so very difficult. And here is a person, you know, two extremes. Like my spiritual master had never seen Prabhupada, and Prabhupada has never seen, my spiritual master. And slowly and steadily, how my spiritual master from internally recognized that yes, he's my spiritual master and I'm inspiring. And he takes initiation and he starts earning also. And he starts giving everything to, Srila Prabhupada, whatever he has. And at the end, also, when a spiritual master leaves this earth planet, sorry, it's not a glorification session, but I'm just, giving an example because that's the immediate example that, is I'm remembering for this particular slogan. And even when my spiritual master leaves this earth planet, there is not a single rupee or possession in his name. Whatever he has given it to everybody. He has no bank account at all. Whatever he had, whatever his disciples have kept, he has given it to everybody, distributed it. So he went with a very peaceful mind to the supreme abode of the Lord, because his whole life was only a dedication to his spiritual master. His whole life was an offering to his spiritual master. And that is why we see that uh, when I try to work for Krishna and make all my work as an offering to Krishna, then what will happen? Mad mad artham api karmani. If I work in this way, if I work for Krishna, and then kurvan siddham apyasi, avapyasi, sorry. So then what will happen? That person, or you will attain perfection by this, if I'm working for Krishna. So Krishna is extending that mercy, lower and lower. So like, if a person is in a dry well and somebody is giving him a rope from up, and he says, you stretch yourself, stand on your toes, catch the rope, and I will pull you, and I'll pull you out. But the person says that, no, I cannot do this. Then, what happens is that person, he bends and he lowers himself from the top, right? And he gives that rope more. And he says, just raise your arm and catch the rope. Still the person says, no, I cannot do this. And then says, okay, I'm more, he goes, down. Like, he lies himself on the stomach and then he goes more down, and then on the waist, and then he pulls out. So Krishna is saying that mad artham api karmani. If you work in this way, kurvam siddham apasi. Siddhi, you will attain siddhi. So actually, siddhi means only actually perfection. So when Krishna in the seventh chapter says, no, Manusha Sahasreshu Kashidyati Siddhaye Yadatam Api Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tatvatah. So when he says that, when this word Siddhi is, like used for material perfection, like you have this Anima Siddhi, Lagima Siddhi. But Krishna is talking about devotional perfections. He's not talking about, material perfections. And these devotional perfections only ultimately will culminate into pure love for Krishna. So, Krishna is saying, even working for me, you come to the level of attaining me. You work for me. So, when he says that work for me, uh, work for me has two levels also in that, like, two sub levels, you can say. One is direct and one is indirect. Direct means what? You do his work, that is, directly render service to Krishna. Okay. That you go to the temple, you wash the temple, you wash the temple floor, you wash the utensils, you decorate the deity, you dress the deity, or you give a class in the temple, or you look after the temple management directly, this. And indirectly is what? Offer him the fruits of my work. Like, I get a paycheck of, whatever amount that is there. I give that whole amount to him. Now, Srila Rupa Goswami says give 50% of your income to the temple or in Krishna conscious activities. But to come to that level, what we can do is that we can start with 5%, then, build it up to, 7, and then 10, and then 15, that way. So, when he says that, uh, do uh, do his work, when I said do your work is like, doing book distribution and, preaching and, some services in the temple that I told. And uh, and it is because it is Krishna's work, it is maintaining the temple, it is Krishna's mission. Krishna's mission is to bring all those fallen souls back to him, and we help in that mission to do his work. And then when he's saying that offer him the fruits of your work means only what? That by giving charity, by giving donations, so devotees, they try to integrate, family life or whole family only into Krishna's work. Devotees see that family members, if they are devotee, it is wonderful, but if they are not devotees, still they are part and parcel of Krishna. And it is ultimately by Krishna's arrangement only that I am placed in that situation with this particular family members. Let me try to serve Krishna by taking care of them, materially also and spiritually also. So this is mat karma paramo bhava. I've explained this before also. And that is why Prabhupada is also saying that every endeavor for, pleasing the Supreme Lord, or to fixing the mind on Krishna, or doing work for Krishna, requires land, capital, organization, and labor. So all these are included into Mat Parmo Bhava. And Prabhupada is saying that, the only difference between a materialist person is that he works for his own sense gratification. And the spiritualist, what he does is he works for the satisfaction of Krishna, and that is a spiritual activity. If I'm working for my own sense gratification, as a material activity. But if I'm working for Krishna, giving money in charity, giving my body, mind, words, intelligence for Krishna, and wealth for Krishna, then that is a spiritual activity. And that is why whatever voluntary service, for the cause of Krishna consciousness that we do, it will help us to rise at a higher state of level, whereupon we will become perfect also, and we will attain that supreme destination where we belong to. And that is why he's saying that mat paramo. Okay, let's go to the next 11th shloka. What is he saying in the 11th shloka? See, in the Subodhini, what they are saying is working for Krishna includes offering charity to build Krishna's temple, publish books. By doing such works, even without remembering Krishna, one can still attain perfection. Voluntary work done for satisfaction of Krishna is spiritual activity. Those who can do bhakti by both internal and external things are most outstanding. Well, an outstanding student. He can do this also and he can do that also. But one may not be able to even work for Krishna because of social, family, religious considerations or other impediments. Krishna will now advise such people to sacrifice the results of their activities, if not fully, at least some percentage of the result. You know, so giving up the result of your work, right? Then try to give up. Okay, let's see what he has to say. Okay, he says that अथैतद्यप्य असक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रित सर्वकर्म फले त्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in consciousness of me, then try to add giving up the results of your work and try to be self-situated. So he's saying that athat, atha etat, athat etat. See, athat means, even though means not previously what I have explained or described, he's saying that. And asakto asi. So even if one is not able to do that, kartum mad yogam ashritah means that if it cannot do, what one cannot do, mat karma paramo bhava. If he cannot work for me, then what should he do? Sarva karma phala tyagam. Right? Give up the fruits of that particular karma or work that is there. Right? Tata kuru yata atmavan. So that is how he will be self-situated. So see, in the second chapter also, give me a minute. Where Krishna says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nestraiguna Bhavarjuna, Nirgandho Nitya Sattvasto, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. There also he has used this word Atmavan. So Krishna is saying that in that Traigunya Vishaya Veda, go beyond the three modes and become situated in, pure transcendental. And pure transcendental means in the mode of goodness, right? And you will be free, because when you're situated into that particular mode of goodness or transcendence, then you'll be free from that, this of loss or gain, and you will not be holding on to that particular thing, so then he's saying that he's using the word atmavan over there. So when he'll be free from that consideration of profit and loss, by holding on to that atma, because the word van means only possessor. Okay, like dhanavan, hai na? So normally we think that possession, or that object that is possessed. So there are many different possessors also. So Atmavan, how can possessor and possession be the same? He's holding to his Atma. How can an Atma hold on to an Atma? Not possible, right? So how can the same be the owner also and the owned also? Okay, so he says that, like, see, he's giving an example over there that, what example is it? He's giving the example when people know they become old, they keep on losing their little memory, and say that they may be the owner of their house, but they do not know that they are the owner. So similarly, we may be in possession of something, but we don't know that we are the possessor, right? And at the spirit level also, we have everything, as we are, connected to Krishna. But since we have forgotten our connection to Krishna, so the meaning of this Atmavan is to become aware of ourselves, that aware of ourselves that I am Atma, and what is available to us at this Atma level, right? So sometimes, to the extent this person is obsessed with material things, to that level he cannot understand that spiritual reality also. Too much of sense gratification will not give us that spiritual reality. So Krishna is saying that even if one stops working and starts sacrificing, that point onwards, one slowly develops spirit of selfless sacrifice, and that gradually makes one self aware also. So dheere dheere, I give 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, for Krishna's mission or whatever work I am doing, as such, as, because, see, how this goes as that the example I've heard many times is that, for example, my father gives me 10 rupees to buy chocolate. Okay, I buy a 10 rupee Cadbury chocolate. And then I come home after buying that 10 rupee chocolate. And from that, one part, there are maybe, you can say in every Cadbury chocolate, how many parts you have? Maybe 8 or something like that. And from that, if I give 2 parts to my father will feel so nice now. Oh, wow, I gave her 10 rupees and, she gave me, 2 parts from that, right? So even Krishna also feels very happy that, hey, I gave him so much of wealth and he's giving again, for my mission to reclaim those fallen souls back again. So Krishna becomes very happy with us. So that I conscious that we are, like for sense gratification is very detrimental to this path of, bhakti. And uh, the and when we observe in this cause, of loving and, serving Krishna, so that is why devotees will always focus on how can I serve Krishna? In what way will I be able to serve Krishna? So it may be that, one may be, unable to give, or unable to even to sympathize with that activities of Krishna conscious because of, some social, family, religious constitution, because and some other, difficulties also he might be having, or impediments he might be having in his path. But if one is attaching himself directly to the activities of Krishna conscious, uh, sometimes these family members also might object, and there will be so many other difficulties. So for one who has, such a problem, then Krishna is saying that he sacrificed that accumulated result of his activities to do some good cause. Like, for example, we are doing book distribution, okay? And now we have this, Bhadra Purnima coming up. So there are many poor people who cannot afford to buy the Bhagavatam. So what we have done is, what we do is we shell out from our pocket some money, like say 4,000, 5,000, and we slash that price to 50%. For example, Marathi Bhagavatam is for 8,000. So we slash it down to 4,000. And then for that also we tell him an EMI and Baba and all that. And from my pocket, then I'll remove 4,000. And that's how, somehow that person becomes Krishna conscious by the Bhagavatam going in that. So some good cause you give it for, distributing anna, free prasadam to everybody. There are so many, people coming in the temple on a daily basis. Like around 1,000 people come on a daily basis to the temple for visiting. 1,000 people, get khichdi prasadam. Or in Pune, they have made now a system that morning breakfast free, afternoon lunch free, and evening also free. All three times they have made it food for life, that anybody can come and have prasadam anytime, lunch, so nobody goes hungry. So that is how they have made it. And, they give good food, okay? They give you proper lunch, they'll give you chapati, sabzi, roti, dal, and chawal, they give you. And even in breakfast, sometimes nice upma and, nice dosas and mendu vadas and bhajiyas and, they'll give you nice good breakfast also. So because people are donating for a good cause, that is why, more and more people get connected to the temple and they come and then they eat prasadam and then get they purified. So the point here is to cultivate the value of sacrifice. So Bhagavad Gita does accommodate this principle of social sacrifice which people are doing. They're concerned for the others. This is also, and that concern for others is actually a step forward, in their evolution also of their, consciousness, which will ultimately bring them to Krishna's consciousness. So Krishna is bringing the ladder of mercy down and down to accommodate even those who cannot accommodate him. I cannot accommodate Krishna in my life. Okay, let me give the charity. Slowly, slowly, my consciousness will rise up and I'll think, oh, I'm doing for Krishna. I'm doing for Krishna. Let me do more, more, more. He will have a sense of satisfaction. With that sense of satisfaction, he'll give more. And one day he'll give himself only to Krishna, everything to Krishna, before he leaves. While he's living, also, his everything is for Krishna. While he leaves, also, everything will go to Krishna. So, Prabhupada's purport, is saying that uh, he's mentioning that particular, shloka where he's saying that is 18.46. Just let me check this shloka, what it is. यथ प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं सर्वकर्माण तद्भ्यचर्य सिद्धिं विन्दन्ति मानवः. So he's saying that if one decides to sacrifice for the supreme cause, even if he does not know that the supreme cause is Krishna, he will come gradually to understand that Krishna is the supreme cause. By that, a sacrifice for Krishna, that method of sacrifice for Krishna. And that is why he's saying that yatha pravritir bhutana, that the Lord from whom all that existence is emanated, from whom all the pravrittis are also emanating, right? And all the living entities also have emanated from him. And this creation is also actually pervading because of him only. So the point is that whatever propensities we have, not the sinful ones, but whatever propensity, the good. So within that varnashram situation, like if I have a Brahmana propensity, I have a Kshatriya propensity, I have a Vaishya propensity, right? So that way one will act, but we should not act in a materialistic way, but we should act in a spirit, spiritualistic understanding in Krishna's service. And if not in Krishna's way, then at least in a general way of selflessness. Let me give, this is poor person. He's not able to eat anything. Let me give some donation in the temple and he'll be fed every day. Like, So we see that this ladder of mercy is going down, and in this way, one will come to this spiritual consciousness also. So, Srila Jiva Goswami has said that we should not accept spiritual master simply based on the position in the organization or the society. Okay, I come from this caste and this particular Goswami is from this caste, I will accept him just because someone is in a specific position in that hierarchy. That doesn't mean that somebody will be spiritually advanced. So somebody says, oh, he's an Odia Maharaj, I will take initiation from him. Oh, he's a foreign body, I will not take from him. Or he's an Indian, he's a Punjabi, let me take from him. No, not if somebody is not connected with that spiritual organization, but if that person is having selflessness also, we should see a good in that person. And yet that person may not have that spiritual knowledge or the knowledge of the soul right now, but that person may have little Bhagavad Bhakti right now. That person may be breaking some regulative principles also. We can blame that person for so many other things, but that is not the only way for looking at that things. We should see that what that person is having, and at least he has that selflessness to do some charity for Krishna. To he can and then to that extent we can appreciate that person. And what, as Prabhupada says, that you can take gold even from a filthy place. So how Prabhupada also took the hippies from America, and in that way we can also actually see good in a person and engage him in Krishna's service. So let's go to the next sloka. Sorry, we are spending a little time on this, but this is so very important, so very crucial, that how we should also be doing this. How will I apply this in my life, right? So now in the 12th shloka, what is actually Krishna going to do is that uh, because this particular shloka no, is a little complicated, and all different acharyas have given different commentaries, and we'll see how different acharyas have explained this. So he's saying that श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम अभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानम विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्म फल त्यागास् त्यागात् शांतिर अनंतरम. If we cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. So he started with mind, fix your mind and fix your intelligence on me. And again over here, what is he doing? Again, he came to peace of mind. So from where he started, he ended at the same place. So he's saying that Shreya hi Jnanam Abhyasajam. So he's saying that better than Gyan, Shreyo, better than Shreyavi Jnanam Abhyas. So better than Gyan is Abhyas or practice. And then he's saying that better than Gyan is Dhyanam. And better than Dhyan is Karma Phalam. And then he's saying that Tyagat Shantir Anantaram. By Tyag, one will get peace, right? So that is why why is it so complicated, that if you see that hierarchy that is there, what is the problem in understanding this particular verse is that um uh, it seems that the whole previous hierarchy of what he said about fixing your mind, intelligence, and then abhyas and all that. So it is actually topside down, you might feel, right? So what is the other hierarchy in the Bhagavad Gita? You say Karma Yoga, then Jnana Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, and then Bhakti Yoga. You know? First is Sadhana Bhakti, then Kevala Bhakti or pure devotion, and then Raganuga Bhakti, whichever way we can look at it. So when we say that normal hierarchy is Karma Phala Tyaga, it is a part of karma. You know? After that, when one goes beyond that, then one starts practicing Jnana Yoga. Contemplating, the analysis and, philosophical speculations they do, and, and then there is dhyan, meditation on the super soul. And then bhakti yoga, fixing the mind completely on Krishna. And in dhyan, one is trying to move towards that particular Paramatma. So in in karma phala tyag, one is basically getting detached from matter, but he does not have clarity about spirituality. And in Gyan also, one is trying to get that conception about this Brahman reality, and he's searching also for Brahman. And in Dhyan, one starts focusing on the super soul, the Paramatma, and in Bhakti, one starts focusing on the Bhagwan. So this is the non. But what is this verse saying that? He's saying that Shreyo hi Jnanam Abhyasaj, and Jnanat Dhyanam Vishishyate, Dhyanat Karma Phalam, Tyagat Shanti Manantaram. So that previous explanation with Krishna said that karma phala tyagam and then only gyan and then dhyan and then bhakti. But here it is telling gyan, then dhyan, then karma phala tyaga. ये उल्टा बोल रहे हैं. So what is abhyas? If abhyas is bhakti, then what is actually happening over here? So bhakti should be highest and karma phala should be the lowest. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that by changing that particular reference or referent, sometimes while talking, I might mean about the same person, but the same person listening may think about another person. है ना? I'm talking to somebody, but that person is thinking about somebody else, right? So it's an ambiguous reference like that. And when you say ambiguous and in English, so which means that which comes before and which is referred before. Like if I start this Bhakti Shastri course by saying that he said that he is very angry with that, then we do not understand that who he is, right? Because that is not explained only. So sometimes in the middle of the conversation also, it may be a little confusing because I might be discussing a particular person, but my thought goes to someone else. And since others cannot follow my thought, so it becomes actually confusing. So that is why Prabhupada says that this 12th particular shloka is referring back to the 10th and the 11th shloka. It means that when Krishna is giving an hierarchy over here, this karma, phala, tyaga, he is referring to actually the 10th shloka. Mat karma paramo bhava. So here this word abhyas, abhyas means does not always, refer to bhakti only, but it can mean that you practice. It is used many times by Krishna, chanchalam hi mana Krishna, abhyasa yoga yuktena, you practice and you fix your mind on me by practice and detachment, and you'll be able to conquer that particular mind. So abhyas is not one specific word. It is practice. And what is practice? Is that we don't know. It can be practice of any of the yogas, what we are discussing right now. So we may assume that abhyas, whatever is referred in the 9th shloka, right? That to fix the mind on Krishna, right? So abhyas yogena tato mat ichhaptum dhananjaya. So that does not make, that so these meanings, as per this dictionary also, we have to see in a very broader context, because words in Sanskrit, can be like, at a multi level also, or multi meanings also. One word can have many, many meanings. And even for other languages also it is true. But in Sanskrit, more than many other languages, in Sanskrit, one word can have many, many meanings. So what we do is that we go by that overall message of that particular shloka, because the same word might be in another shloka. but it's not according to that particular context over here. So that's how Prabhupada is saying that when abhyas is there, then we practice Nishkam Karma Yoga. And Prabhupada is saying that Karma Phala Tyaga is not referring to just Tyaga of Karma Yoga. It is referring to Mat Karma Parmo. And that is why then when I am saying I am doing Nishkam Karma Yoga, then that particular shloka makes a sense. So what is Krishna saying? That Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. So jnana is better than abhyas. Nishkam Karma Yoga. You know. And jnana dhyanam vishishyate. So dhyan is higher than jnana. And dhyanat karma phala tyagas. So if karma phala tyaga is referring to karma, then that is referred to Krishna, then definitely bhakti is higher than dhyana. है ना? And if that is the case, then he's saying that Tyagat Shantir Anantaram. Krishna is saying that in the oh, in the world peace formula shloka, what is that? Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surid Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. है ना? So we will get supreme Shanti, right? So that is why Prabhupada doesn't specifically say this that we have to read Srila Prabhupada, purport, but repeatedly to understand, to get this understanding also, you know, His Grace Burijan Prabhu mentions this. Read the purports again and again, again and again, again and again. And then we try to understand that how this particular shloka, is taking us back. So, even in, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan's also commentary, if you see, that he takes two things first. He takes Shreyo and he takes Vishishyate. And of course, this doesn't mean it's a higher, it's a higher hierarchy, but he's saying that it is easy to perform even for an unqualified person. And it is more accessible also. When we say Shreyo hi Vishishyate, when he's saying this, like, okay. So, because, see, he's telling this from the perspective of the Supreme Lord, from the absolute perspective point of view, is saying that Krishna is accommodating the living entities at different various levels. He's not talking from the point of view of the absolute, but from wherever that person can access him, or from wherever that person can seek him. So, for example, somebody could, access him from the dhyana level also. Somebody can access him from the jnana level also. Somebody can easily access him from the Ashtanga Yoga level also. So, for example, I am an Ashtanga yogi and I am actually going to my meditation is on the Paramatma. But while I am meditating on the Paramatma, all of a sudden I have this realization that I want, because see, what these people do, I'll tell you, the Ashtanga yogis, when actually they are meditating on the Paramatma form, so to climb a higher level, what they do is that when they have to attain Paramatma level, they will take the help of that Paramatma. They will cling on to the Paramatma. But once they have attained that Paramatma, then they will leave that path and take another path. So, their sadhan and sadhya, their goal and the means to achieve the goal are not the same. And that is why they have to keep on, giving up something to attain something, giving. But for us devotees, for the bhakti yogis, what we have is that our sadhana and sadhya is the same. Here also I am doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And in the spiritual world also I have to go and do the same thing. So I don't have to give up anything at all. This is only the, difference between, the different seekers and the bhakti yogi seekers. So Krishna is saying that better than so Shreya hi Jnanam Abhyas, that better than Gyan is Abhyas, and better than Dhyan is Karma Phala Tyaga. And then by that Tyag, one will get peace. So, and that is how this particular shloka has been actually mentioned in that way. Of course, when we see, that from the 8th shloka to the 11th shloka, the analysis is that you have internal bhakti. Internal bhakti means through the senses. And then you have smaranatmika bhakti. Smaranatmika bhakti means meditating on, Krishna with the mind. That is the 8th shloka, he's saying. But in the 8th shloka also there are two things actually, which I just did not mention, is that when he's saying that Mai eva mana adastva, Mai buddham. So he's actually, Srila Prabhupada puts this whole verse in one level. Okay. And one level means what? That our whole inner life, our own inner world is offered to Krishna, which is a very perfectly valid explanation. And another way, like, would be that this mind and intelligence, there are two different levels. Okay, mind is a different level, and so in the spiritual path also, it becomes a very it is very easier to become spiritually, convenient, and you become mentally also purified and mentally transformed also. So if I contemplate the philosophy and then analyze, I can understand that yes, sense gratification leads to misery. But that itself does not mean that I will lose the desire for sense gratification. I still may have the desire, and I have to battle that desire. And then once the mind is accepting something, that means that we more or less, have realized. If the mind has accepted that, okay, this is leading to misery, I will not do this. And that is a very steady platform of self-realization, I will adopt that only. So then that mind becomes purified. And when he's saying that smaranatmika bhakti, when he's saying that mai eva mana adastva, it is a little higher level. Meditating on Krishna, remembering on Krishna. So we remember Krishna very spontaneously. So, but mananatmika means what? Contemplating on Krishna with intelligence. So when for mananatmika, like we mistake this mananam with the mind. But the word manana is actually, you do a conscious contemplation. Smaran is like spontaneous recollection. That, I remember all these things when I came into Krishna conscious, how the devotees served me, and how the devotees were so very, pally with me, and how the devotees have pampered me. This comes spontaneously to my mind, spontaneous recollection. So, what is the difference between these two? So, Smaranatmika is like spontaneous recollection. Just give me a minute. There is somebody on the door and I'm alone at home. So it is very spontaneous recollection, Smaranatmika. Like, when a mother, she sees some small items of her baby, she sees a shirt or a shoes, or, so immediately, she will think about her baby, And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was at that level that whenever he would see a river, he would immediately spontaneously think about River Yamuna. Or if he's seeing a mountain, immediately he'll remember about, Govardhan. So of course we don't have that. So we first have to begin, this conscious contemplation. Then that spontaneous recollection will come. So here, if someone does not have that attraction for, examples, if someone has to solve that problem of maths, and it is, not that, I'm in love with mathematics, but that person understands that, okay, exam ke liye I have to solve this problem, so let me think very seriously about it. So this is a conscious contemplation that, you know the, one is going at a little lower level, but both of them are internal bhakti. Conscious effort also and spontaneous effort also. Spontaneously also is actually at a internal level. So the mind is fixed, the intelligence is also fixed, and that is why he's saying abhyasa rupa. He's saying endeavoring to fix the mind on, Krishna. So when I'm doing abhyas, by practice of abhyas, somebody is striving to attain Krishna. This is also internal bhakti. So, and then external bhakti will be mad artha karma, serving Krishna, with your external senses, hand, legs, eyes, and even if this mind is not on him. Somebody is washing pots and he's thinking about some movie scene. Somebody is washing Krishna's pot and he's thinking, okay, what will I go home and cook? That way also. So, mad artha karma, that you work for me. So, work for me, then you cook for Krishna, you make garland for Krishna, clean the temple, and though my mind might be running over here and there everywhere, but externally I am engaged in Krishna's service. And then in the 11th shloka, he's saying that Nishkam karma yo, you offer everything to me, sarva karma phala tyagam, and and if you see that when you're offering everything to Krishna, then slowly you come to that platform of remembering Krishna. And that is why it will help us to move upwards towards Krishna. So, okay, we took too much of time with these four shlokas, and I feel that in the Subodhini, there is a very nice chart, okay, actually, if you'll see. How many of you all just raise your hand that you all don't have Subodhini? Raise your hand in the participants this. I'll come to know. Okay, Nivedita Mataji does not have Subodhini. Yani you have the Pathasat Govind does not have. Mahendra Prabhu does not have. Okay. Who else does not have the Subodhini? Rup Manohar Prabhu, you have?
Jamandaji, I have the book from Radheshyam Prabhu, that the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Essence of Bhagavad
No, no,
Gita.
no, no. This Subodhini is from Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, not Radhesham Prabhu.
No, that I don't have, Mataji.
Okay, okay. Others all have. Okay. What I will do is, I will take a snapshot of this whole thing, what I have explained. Most of the things I've explained from the Subodhini itself only, and maybe some examples I've added of my own as such. I will send this as a PDF or something like that to you all, and you all can refer. It will help you. Well, these four shlokas are such wonderful shlokas that this will help us to go more closer to Krishna. And when Krishna is saying the highest level, that mai eva mana adastva, you just fix your mind on me exclusively, you remember me always, this smaran atmika bhakti kaise karna hai, we will really know this. So somebody knows that this is the highest and I am like at the lowest, but still I will aim for the highest. अभी अगर मैं नीचे भी हूँ, सबसे लास्ट लेवल पे भी if I am there, but at least I know that where I have to reach. मुझे कहाँ पे पहुंचना है, मुझे क्या करना है, at least I'll know to that level. And slowly and gradually, with our psychophysical natures, we will be able to reach that point in this lifetime, or maybe in the next lifetime, or maybe in the next lifetime. So for us, we don't have any loss or diminution in this process. But if it is in this lifetime, it's like really good and very nice. And mananatmika, you contemplate. Contemplation also is like how will I improve my chanting? How will I improve my services? How will I make my services very crisp and up to the point? Sometimes some service, I used to take 5 hours. But then slowly with abhyas, and now I'm taking 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and that same service which I could finish in half an hour was taking me 5 hours. So I keep on contemplating. How will I refine my services? How will I plan out, how will I do time management, and how will I manage many other things, and give more and more time to Krishna. This is how we'll keep on contemplating, and that's how we will increase in our bhakti, and we will be able to satisfy the Supreme Lord. And if we satisfy the Supreme Lord, then shantim richati, hame shanti milegi. Okay, anybody has any questions, queries, doubts regarding this? Our acharyas have explained it so wonderfully, means when I'm preparing notes for these, shlokas as such, every time, I prepare notes, because see, every time you give a Bhakti Shastri class, you don't, repeat the same thing, You again have to read, again there will be something more coming up, something you've read from the Bhagavatam, something you read from CC, something you've read from Mahabharat, and then, you can get those notes over here. Or the commentaries of other acharyas also, if you've read Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, or Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and every time you have a newer realization as such. Okay, if anybody,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
yeah, Sucharita beta,
Just I wanted to ask you, have you decided the dates for exams?
you have to decide a date for exam.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's maybe we'll just 2-3 minutes spend time on this. Let me share the calendar with you all. This is the August month going on, right? And so we have Janmashtami on the 26th, right? So of course, Janmashtami and days after the Janmashtami till the 30th, though, definitely we won't have the exams till that time. What do you all think? When do you all want an examination in the month of September? 7th is fine for you all. 1 full month from now. Or on the 14th. You all can share your thoughts in the chat that which date you all want, 7th or 14th. Because if you stretch too long, no, then our other chapters also will be affected.
14th is okay, Mataji.
Mata, it's closed book or a open book? On
Close,
14th.
close book, close book. Open
Close
book,
book.
you all can submit the same day.
Okay, Mata.
Open book, to what you all can start writing from now only. 1 month you all have for writing open book. So please put it in the chat box that what date is comfortable to you all. So Priyanka is saying 14th, Kalyani is saying 14th, and 11th is Radha Ashtami ना. Radha Ashtami के बाद कर रहे हैं हम लोग. We are not doing it on Radha Ashtami day. Radha Ashtami के बाद also you have. And Radha Ashtami is only 1 day celebration. It's not a whole month celebration, right? 14th, 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 14th. Anybody else has any suggestion? Okay, let's decide the date on 14th of September then. Fine. So we'll have it on the 14th of September, this unit's examination as such. And then Shloka could be on 21st or the 15th or something like that. Shloka could be on the 21st. Let's take shloka on the 21st only then. 1 week time you'll have for shloka recitation. But there are more shlokas I feel in this section. How many?
Mataji, why not we should have shloka on 14th and 21st on close book?
No, why? Shloka on the 14th?
Normally we'll have shloka first, Mataji, or shloka
No.
recitation.
What we'll do now, we will first relax everybody from CBA. CBA is more tough than shloka because you have to write and you perspire and all. And then relax 1 full week you will have for shloka recitation. Aram se you all can recite. What do you all have to say on this? Lakshminarayan Prabhu is giving a suggestion that 14th ko shloka and then 21st ko OBA.
Mataji, actually some personal this thing is there. Maybe I have to go to Chandigarh to attend one of my previous company's friend marriage.
You can give close book on 21st then. While we are taking shloka test, you keep on writing your OBA, CBA then. Okay.
Okay.
Mataji, I'll connect separately with you. My daughter's 10th standard term exams are around this time. So I'll connect with you. I'll see her schedule and I'll ping you separately. I'll try to give on these dates, but I'll come back to you.
Chalega. Yes. No.
Okay, Mataji.
See, what is the advantage of giving the examination with everybody, no? What happens is that वो जोश होता है ना, वो जोश में हम लोग दे देते हैं. जब अगर रह जाता है ना तो फिर वो रह ही जाता है. Like some people's shloka test is still pending of the first unit. अब वो रह गया है. And if they want to give it on the 21st of September, I'm more than happy. You can give it on the 21st also. Maybe if I want to take some time and give it to me in the evening, like, morning में ये unit के श्लोकास देने हैं and evening में, दूसरे unit के श्लोकास देने, we can do that way also. Means I'm ready also for that. I'll keep this 21st completely free for only shloka test then. That way. Okay. Shloka test now
And
has
Mataji, this time also the shloka, all shlokas to be done, right? Because last time I actually left few, thinking any one will or two will be asked.
No. All the shlokas that you mentioned, I'll be giving you all a list of all those shlokas. And the open book topics I have given everybody. Did I give the open book topic to everybody?
You have sent the questions, sir.
Yes.
Acha,
Two
I had
questions.
questions, na? Okay. I have sent the questions already. Fine. So you all prepare on that only. And if somebody is missed out on that, I'll resend those questions. I will resend the shlokas. And question answers तो आपको पता ही है कि from 6th chapter, sorry, from the 7th chapter to the 12th chapter, you'll have to do this. Okay.
And what is the date for open book submission, Mataji?
21st. ठीक है ना? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll be finishing this by next week. There are only maybe 7 shlokas more, and because these are all those qualities that are endearing to Krishna. We will finish definitely by next weekend. I should finish it by, let me check. Okay. Next week क्या है? Next week is 17th of August. Yeah. We should finish it by 17th of August. And then you have lots of time, full 1 month to prepare, for the OBA and CBA and shlokas. I think this is enough. Because this 6 months was actually like a preparation only time. One chapter I finish, ab uske, question answers likh lete, you start, memorizing them. You start memorizing the shloka also for that, So is tarah se if you would have planned, then, last minute it does not become, crammed. Like, for us, every month we have an examination in Bhakti Vaibhav. Every month we have to give shloka test. Every month we have to give CBA. Every month we have to give OBA. So, compared to that, Bhakti Shastri is very, easy, I feel. After 6-7 months, then we have to give, shloka test and
Don't
then.
get 1 month time for preparation.
And in Bhakti Vaibhav, I have given 50 shlokas in one go. Bhakti Vaibhav more difficult. In Bhakti Vaibhav, one, this unit, they have 50 shlokas and you have to give 50 shlokas in one go with shloka and meaning as such. So then, compared to that, our Bhakti Shastri is very, very, smooth and, easy going as such. You know.
Mataji, for teachers, syllabus all the time is easy.
No, actually, no, they are going to make, I think, even Bhakti Vedanta and Bhakti Vaibhav also little slow because even in like when I was doing Bhakti Vaibhav, I did the second time I'm doing Bhakti Vaibhav. When I did with Vidyapeetham, for us, we had everyday test, daily test. So today, what I learn, I give a test in the evening. Today, in the day, what I'm learning, I'm giving a test in the evening. That difficult that but actually it was nice for us, for me at least, it was a good training. And right, of course we didn't get the certificate because the temple lost all our records only. Everything was burnt into that computer itself only. So attendance, the marks, the OBA, CB, everything got wiped out. And that is why we have to do second time then, Bhakti Vaibhav. And so others, I started in 2016, I started doing Bhakti Vaibhav. And I finished when? I finished in 2023, starting May. Because I had to repeat that procedure, everything I had to repeat every time, as such. But anyways, for us, Bhakti Shastri is easy and let us make it little, this. And because I am the primary teacher for this course, no, so there is some concession. Everything depends on me, that whether I want to, take the test, when I want to take, how I want to run it, understanding the challenges of the devotees. And that's how we can run it in a little smoother manner. There is no pressure as such. If it is, under multiple teachers, then there is a lot of pressure. But here, you have only one teacher, then that is why there is not too much of, pressure given to the student.
Mataji, in that way, we would have not joined actually.
No, for me, no, I have worked under pressures, no. So for me, pressure only works actually. I worked under very high pressure, like deadlines and timelines and all. So for me, it works that way better.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, there's a Bhagavad Gita Subodhini. It is available in Pune. It's called NVCC.
Yes, it is available, Prabhuji. It is available in Pune NVCC, Prabhuji.
Okay, fine. Hare Krishna.
It's available online on Amazon also. If you want, I'll send the link.
Okay, Mataji.
It is so helpful book, so helpful. I mean, like, I being a teacher, actually, for me, it is like a radar, It is like a, nice roadmap for me also. And it keeps me hooked on to the shloka. Otherwise, you see, many people, what happens is now that shloka se alag hi kuch bolna shuru kar dete hain. But this Subodhini na helps me to just be focused on that particular shloka. And that is how we are able to finish our syllabus on time. Otherwise, syllabus will keep on going for years together. What is the use then? So that is why I like Subodhini very much. And it is from His Grace, the Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, who is like a pure devotee in himself. And he's made it so easily accessible to us. Like, you have maths subject and you have a guide. You have English subject and you have a guide. So actually, the Subodhini is like a guide for us, It helps us in many ways to understand many things also. You can buy Prabhuji. It is available now also over there, like in Pune NVCC temple.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Anybody else has any queries, questions, doubts regarding the course or these shlokas that I've discussed? Okay, if nobody has any doubts, we'll just call for the day. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna, Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna. Dandavat.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Dhanwad.